Hello, my name is Mike Pfaff, and this is my YouTube channel, Living in the Illusion. Now, as usual, before we get into the subject for today, we will have a little review, and we're going to use this model again. This is the one we had last video. And our subject last time, not this time, last time was unlock your mind. Can you remember anything that happened? Can you remember anything that happened? Now, we're having a little ginger tea with citrus and a little honey today. This is a herbal tea, and it is quite good. A little sweet, but not bad. So here's our model. We started out with the infinite, I changed it a little bit, infinite energy system. And over here we had two participants in an event. And I said the event was energy. And so I have a little energy ball here, and not my little styrofoam ball, because it kept falling off. So you got to imagine that this is an event, and the event is in the infinite energy system, which is the field of everything, the all, and consciousness. Consciousness. Not being conscious, not being aware like these participants are aware. Consciousness is fundamental. Now, the energy, as we talked about, the energy is out here. They are observing it, these two participants, A and B, through the uniqueness of their belief system right here. And so they take the incoming information from the event and they produce their unique interpretation of the event for them. Now, I made the comment, I made the suggestion for you to think about that A and B do not have the same event. They do not participate in the same event, because their interpretations of what is happening in the infinite energy system is different. Their worlds are different. The event is one thing. Their interpretation of the event is not the same between the two of them, and each one is not seeing the event as it is. They are only seeing the event through their unique belief system of their world. So this world and this world, two different worlds. This world and the event outside in the infinite energy system, not the same. And the same thing for this guy. Nothing's the same. Nobody sees the event as it happens. That's the same in your world for everything. You never see what's happening. You can only see your unique interpretation of what's happening. Now, how can these two be the same or get to be the same? They have the same kind of beliefs, which means they have a lot of the same experiences, of life, born in the same country, about the same age, went to the same school system, not necessarily the same school, but the system, have the same kind of moral judgments and religious beliefs. All of that goes into making their worlds closer together. Will they ever be the same world? Yeah, when they're the same person. When they're the same person, they'll have the same world. How do you do that? Well, that's another subject that we'll have to talk about later. But it is easier to see it if you begin to recognize who you are, to recognize what you are. Oh, that's another subject for another time. Now, the past is gone. We talked about A Course in Miracles and 3 different quotes from the Course in Miracles. And they all say, the past is gone, and it's not coming back. The past is gone, and what's truly gone can't have any effect because there's nothing there. And the past is gone, and the future is only imagined. So, we have no past. The future is only imagined. What do we have? Right here. The present now. So, that's kind of a quick review. You notice that I did put belief system down here that I left out before. So now we're going to talk about something different. And this is our subject for today. And I'll read it off of here. Unlocking your, that should be your, I left the R off. Mind isn't easy. Unlocking your mind isn't easy. How can you manifest? If your mind is locked, how are you going to move from that position? Now, you're going to use techniques, normally, of affirmations and all those other things, to manifest what you want. Now, knowing what you want is problematic. A lot of times you don't know what you want. Or you may say, well, I know exactly what I want. I want more money. I want a position of authority. I want a new relationship. I want a new job. I want a new puppy dog. Whatever you want. That's what you're thinking. So I'm just going to give a little caveat story about when I was doing groups in a senior citizen center. And we were doing this group, and we were talking about manifesting and how you get what you want. And this one person said, she says, I know exactly what I want. Now, this is seniors living center. You have to be not young to be there. So she was on her age, and she says, yes, I know exactly what I want. I want to marry a rich man. That's what I want. I want to marry a rich man. And I started questioning her. I said, well, why do you want to marry a rich man? She says, well, we travel. Now, we're up in Michigan, and the weather, it was fall, late fall. And she says, and I said, well, where would you go? Well, we go around the world. Well, specifically, where would you go? Well, we go to all of the 48 states. I said, which ones particularly? And Then she thought for a while, and she says, we could go to Georgia. And I says, what do you want to go to Georgia for? She says, well, it's a nice state, and there's a lot of people there. I said, who are you going to meet? She says, well, my son lives there. And we could go visit my son and my grandson. And that would make me happy. That would make me happy. So what was her goal? To marry a rich man? No. It was to be happy. In her case, seeing her grandson. And we're all that way. We get stuck in the egoic thinking process. And we're convinced that if we get stuff from the outside, it will make us happy inside. If we get a lot of stuff from out here, it'll make us happy inside. And I've often said that. I said, yes, it will. For a New York minute, then you'll have to get something else to make you happy, and something else to make you happy. So as you think about manifesting, think about not all the toys you can get. How can you be happy? What do you need to have to be happy? So let's think about that a minute. You'll notice that this model is much like we had before. I mean, we have the infinite energy system here, just out there, all kinds of stuff. Infinite energy system. Everything is here. Everything you want is already here. It's available right here. Well, but you don't have it. Well, why don't you have it? It's available. All you got to do is reach out and grab it. Well, no, I can't do that. I tried that. It doesn't work so good. Well, let's look at the process a little closer. Now, you say you're going to use manifesting. And I do have a couple videos, several videos, on manifesting and the technique to use in manifesting to get the most results. I'll reference that. I think I have it in a playlist. So I'll reference that playlist and take a look at it. It's a funny thing. I got the ideas from manifesting when I worked for General Motors. And they had a special program on how to manifest and how to be productive in your work. And I went there and I saw that thing and I said, you know, there's something to that. And I've been looking at it ever since. So this is what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about how can you manifest. And the other part, unlocking your mind, isn't easy. Because right now you have kind of a set idea, a mindset on what manifesting is. And for the most part, it's going to be, well, we're going to get the universe to change, this infinite energy system to change. We're going to entice it to bring to us what we want, what you think you want. Now, here's the thing. If you knew who you were, if you knew who you are, if you knew what you are, manifesting would be very quick. Why don't you know who you are? Well, Your mind's locked in the egoic belief system. You've been programmed to think certain ways. And now you're going to manifest using the techniques that are available in the egoic world of affirmations and vision boards and visualization and all kinds of stuff like that. So here we have the same model, and out here is everything. Here is our 5 senses right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got it right. Next to that, you bring in, your senses bring in the chaotic information that's here as best they can. Each sense has a certain range of information that it's capable of gleaning from this energy system that's always there. And it's chaos. The senses don't know what they're looking at, what they're taking in, the information. The senses are not the brain. The senses are not the mind. They can't communicate. They don't communicate with each other. It's data. So they bring this chaotic data inside. And again, you need to look at it to find, of this data, what's important for you. Well, out there you're saying affirmations and you're saying stuff like that. What in this is important? What your belief system determines is important. So you filter this chaotic information through your belief system. And out of that, now I got to draw it a different way. That's why I didn't complete it. I want this whole thing, this whole process right here to look like now I hope this kind of looks like it. A lens. A lens. You are taking information in through a lens. It's chaotic. But the lens out the other side forms your world. This lens, with all of this activity in here, is forming your world. Now, what is it that's forming your world with all the objects? All your objects are not out here. There's nothing out here but energy. All the objects you want, you have to create. All the things you want to manifest, you have to create here. So who are you? Great creator. Who are you that's making your world right now? You make your world right now. How are you doing that? Through your belief system. What's going on in your belief system? Your thoughts. We talked about it before, and it was Buddha. I quoted it on the last video. Buddha said, your thoughts make your world. Your thoughts make your world. What are your thoughts? You can only think your thoughts, you individually, as well as me, inside your belief system. Your belief system is the boundary in which you must think. You can't think outside of what you believe. So if you don't have what you want, you have some limiting beliefs, some thoughts, some limiting thoughts. Now here's the thing. Now you're talking about manifesting. You say, oh, I'm going to make a affirmation, perfect affirmation to get me what I want. And I'll say that when I get up in the morning and when I have a cup of tea and at night before I go to bed, and I'll look at my vision board and I'll do all kinds of stuff like that on a conscious level. What's running your ship? What's causing this lens on the other side to create the world you have? It's not your conscious mind. If your conscious mind was in charge, you'd have it because you're conscious of it. So what's running your ship is your subconscious mind, your belief system. 95% of the time, you're on autopilot and your belief system is running your life. And you have limiting thoughts. So now you're thinking limiting thoughts in your subconscious mind. And you want to say 2 or 3 or 15 or 20 affirmations a day to get you what you want over here. Again, I said, if you knew who you were, if you knew who you are, you'd be able to do it like that. But you don't know what you want, and you don't know how to get it. And part of the reason is, behind your conscious mind sits the subconscious mind. And your subconscious mind is thinking all the time. What are those thoughts? Oh, you probably didn't think about it. You probably didn't think of what you were thinking all the time. They are affirmations. So you got two minds, basically. You got a conscious mind that you're aware of, and then you have almost an infinite unconscious mind. And that unconscious mind, through your belief system, is telling the universe who you are. And this is what you're creating through that process. It's a very specific process. So you want to change something else. You want different objects. You want different toys. You want different things in your life. You got to change your limiting thoughts. Well, how do you know what they are? They're out of your conscious awareness. How do you know what they are? What have you got? That's what you've been asking for. And you might say, no, I didn't ask for that. I didn't ask for that. Who would ask for the life I have? You. You don't think you're good enough? You don't think people like you? You're not, don't feel good about your job? You have insecurities? You feel like a victim? It's all inside. You don't even know it on a conscious level. So what you have to do to manifest is, first of all, break out of your mindset and begin to appreciate how magnificent you are. You might not have thought about yourself as magnificent, but you are a great creator. You have created the world that you have. And then you project it. I didn't write that. I'll do it right now. Okay. And you project that world right onto here. Now, I had another guy ask the question, well, how do you do that? How do these line up? Well, you got this information that's here. You have fixed patterns and moving patterns in this infinite system out here. The information comes to your senses. Your senses take it in. They don't know what it is. They're just passing information. Your belief system filters through it, finds stuff that matches it, So if you feel you're a victim, if that's your belief system, you're going to find all the information that will verify for you that you're a victim. And you'll use that to make your world. And you will put that on here, and those patterns of your objects will match up to these fixed fields, these moving fields, perfectly. The object is not out here. It's created in here. And you put it out here. So it's like a shadow sitting on this infinite system. And when there's a fixed field, for instance, and you reach out with your hand or with your nose, and you touch that field, that energy field, it will feel like the object you created. Why? That's the energy you used. That's the energy input that you use after filtering to make your world. Same thing with the nose. You take in information through your nose. You convert it into electromagnetic impulses. You filter that information based upon your limiting thoughts, beliefs, and then you create it in here and you say, oh, it smells like a steak. Yeah, well, that's because that's what the energy was. And you create it in here. You are a magnificent creator. And so, A Course in Miracles, before I forget, because this is pretty heavy. Okay? Oh, by the way, this is all imagination. You are imagining all of this. As Einstein said, and I'll quote him, imagination is more important than knowledge. Knowledge is limited. It's limiting. Knowledge is limited. Imagination encompasses the world. He didn't use encompass. Encircles world. There's no limit to your imagination. So while you are manifesting, change your mindset and see if you can determine what you really want. So that was Einstein. Now, A Course in Miracles. Now, I mentioned imagination. Okay, I'm going to mention it again in just a second. Yet, in this cloud bank of your imagination, of your cloud bank of your imagination, it is easy to see the whole world arise. It is easy to see with your senses the whole world arise out here. A solid mountain range, or looking out through a window or something, whatever you see outside, a solid mountain range, a lake, a city, all arise in your imagination. And from the cloud, messengers of your perception return to you, assuring you that the outside is there. I said before, there's no outside world. It's all in here. It's all a projection. It's all imagination. And another quote from Einstein, which I don't have written down, so I'll have to paraphrase it. Reality is an illusion, howbeit a very persistent one. Reality is an illusion. Everything is here for you. My reality, or what I think would be my reality, my outside here, is my world. And it's nothing like yours or your spouse's or your kids. Everybody has their own world. Change your belief system if you can. It's not easy because you're so well programmed. And then you can begin to manifest because you come closer to knowing who you really are. Be good to yourself. And we'll see you next time here in The Illusion. Bye now.